Hey guys, welcome to Asher and Gad channel, making Africa home again, one family at a time. Most house fires don't start with flames. They start silently, behind walls, inside ceilings, inside distribution boards. And the scariest part? Many of these defects exist in brand new homes as well as old homes. In this video, I'm going to expose the hidden electrical defects I see repeatedly in buildings, both old and new. Defects that can overheat, arc, ignite, and eventually burn the house down if left unchecked. When people buy new homes, for example, they assume the electrics are safe because everything looks neat. And that would be, even in the UK, you wouldn't assume. You would have a paperwork certifying that the electrical is safe. You'd have certification, NIC, EIC commissioning, you'd have that, okay? In Ghana, you're supposed to have that as well. So if you don't have it, ask for it, especially if you're buying a new home, okay? But as you know, electrical safety, as you should know, is not about appearance, okay? It's about design, it's about protection, it's about testing, and it's about installation discipline, okay? So let's go through the most dangerous hidden defects one by one. Defect number one, guys: undersized cables hidden in walls, or even hidden under the ground, or even in the air. One of the most common and dangerous issues is undersized cabling. Cables are selected based on current, the installation method, the ambient temperature around the cable, and grouping, not guesswork. Okay? In many new homes, cooker circuits are wired with lighting grade cable. Air conditioning units share undersized radial circuits. Socket rings are converted into overloaded spurs. Undersized cables don't trip breakers immediately. They overheat slowly, degrading the insulation around the cable until ignition occurs. Now, in the past, I've shown you guys pictures and videos of, I think there was a 7-bedroom home we went to inspect in Trasaco Springs. And that 7-bedroom home, believe it or not, was fed by a 10 mil cable, 4x 10 mil cable from the ECG pole to the home. Yeah, that's ridiculous. You probably only use a 4x 10 mil cable as the main power supply coming into the building if it was maybe a 2-bedroom apartment, for example. To make matters worse, this cable was going into the ground. The cable is undersized to start with, and it's also going under the ground. If a cable is going under the ground, in a duct in the ground, the heat cannot dissipate as well as if the cable is in the air, right? So this is why you have to have a correct design of the cables to make sure the sizes are selected correctly based on the amount of load in the building. That's why you should do a load calculation, and also the way the cable is installed. This is how you prevent fires originating from undersized cables. Defect number two, guys: poor terminations and loose connections. Loose terminations are fire starters. So even at the distribution board, when the electrician has put the cables into the breakers, before the power comes on, you can do a little tug on the cables to check the firmness of the cables, or get the electrician to check it to make sure everything is firm and there's no loose connections, no loose terminals in junction boxes, no loose connections in sockets, no screws left in live distribution boards, for example. These are all fire starters. Every loose connection creates a resistance. Resistance creates heat. Heat creates arcing. Arcing ignites surrounding materials. And that's how the fire starts, okay? It happens. It does happen, as we know. And most of the time, it's not due to not tightening the screw properly enough. Now, these disasters can happen, unfortunately. It's an unfortunate thing. And they can happen frequently for the number of reasons I mentioned already. Also, you can have some screws that are not tightened properly, mixed copper and aluminium conductors, cheap terminals, not rated for the load. Many fires can start inside the consumer unit, not necessarily at the appliance. or inside the distribution. When I say consumer unit, it's interchangeable with distribution board. Defect number 3, no arc fault or surge protection devices. Most new homes in Ghana, you will have, MCBs, hopefully you will have the RCD, okay, but typically they will not have a surge protective device and definitely not have arc fault protection either. Okay, surges damage insulation invisibly. Okay, it's a gradual degradation, as I mentioned in my previous video about the importance of surge protection. If you haven't watched that video, click up here. Right, arc faults can ignite timber, ceiling voids, and roof structures. Okay, lightning, unstable utility supply, generator switching, etc., all introduce surge energy that weakens cables over time. One thing to bear in mind, guys, you can have a brand new home, you can have a brand new home and electrical appears to be functioning okay, but there are hidden defects. Electrical defects, the thing about electrical defects, they don't necessarily show up on day one. They may not show up in 6 months, they may not show up in a year, but it can show up in 2 or 3 years, which is why in countries like the UK and probably most likely the US, you have mandatory 5-yearly electrical tests. You have mandatory 5-yearly electrical tests where the electrician will come around, check all the terminals, do insulation resistance testing to see if there's any cables that have weak insulation. For example, they've been exposed to so many surges over the years and they're now weak, they are fire risk, need to be changed. Definitely you need to have surge protection as well installed. So this is what we're talking about, guys. This is the education that I want to give you so that you can make the right move. If you're in Ghana, you know that in Ghana, you have to be responsible for your own home, okay? There are laws in Ghana, obviously, but as you know, the society is not as highly regulated as the UK or the US. So you as the building owner need to be informed and need to take responsibility. How long have you been in your home? When was the last time you had an electrical safety test? When was the last time you had an electrical safety inspection? In the UK, every 5 years. In Ghana, make up your mind how frequently you want it to be. Every 2 years, every 3 years wouldn't be a bad idea. Let's move on to the next defect. Defect number 4, earthing systems not verified. This is all too common. All too common. When we were building, I insisted on it. I insisted on getting the Energy Commission to come down to do all the tests. Without that insistence, it wouldn't have happened. As I said, you, the building owner, inform yourself, take action. Okay? Inform yourself, take action. Earthing is not about connecting a wire to a ground only. It's about measured resistance and fault clearance time. In many new homes, sometimes the earth rods are too short. Sometimes the earth rods are too close together, and that impacts the resistance. Sometimes the soil resistivity, is ignored. The earth continuity sometimes is never tested. We have earth continuity tests, we have insulation resistance tests, earth resistance tests. These are tests that all need to be done and ensure that the values are compliant before your building can be deemed to be safe. A poor earth means faults do not clear fast enough, allowing cables and enclosures to overheat. And if you have overheating risk, you know what that leads to, potentially a fire. Defect number 5. Now, many people are doing this in Ghana, and it's a good thing. It's a good thing because of the unreliability of the ECG grid, as well as the expense of the ECG. ECG is very expensive now. I mean, our home, I guess, my wife likes a lot of air conditioning, so that probably is a factor. But you guys let me know, compare. In fact, comment below, what's your ECG electricity bill like? Our home, 4-bedroom house, you guys know the size of it. My wife does like a bit of AC. And I think that we are spending about, let me just do a calc, bear with me. We are spending about, at the peak of it, we are spending about, I would say, between 3,000 and 4,500 cedis per month. Between 3,000 and 4,500 cedis per calendar month is our ECG electricity bill. mainly because I guess we do use a bit of air conditioning. Let me know below, guys. How do you guys feel about the ECG bills these days, the ECG tariffs? Comment below. Comment below. All right, let's move on. So defect number 5, mixing generator, grid, and inverter without protection. It's a good thing. It's a good thing, but make sure the design is correct. I did a video, the importance of electrical design. Click up here if you haven't watched it. Yeah, the architect designs, the builder builds. The electrical design engineer or the MEP design engineer designs the electrical systems, design the mechanical systems, the plumbing systems, and then the artisan installs. That's how the industry works. Don't just rely on your artisan. Okay, hybrid power systems are now common. The grid, ECG, generator, solar inverter, that's perfect. But many installations, and I've seen some of them, lack proper interlocking, don't have surge protection, some of them have some neutral switching errors. Okay, you have in some cases you may have some backfeed current, neutral overheating, phase imbalance, which can create in the extremity a fire risk. Okay, especially during the generator operation. Your system must be designed properly and installed accordingly. Defect number 6, very, very, very common. Some pictures on your screen are from various home inspections we've done. Various home is always on the list. I don't know, it seems to be a common thing that a lot of electricians in Ghana don't count the number of circuits before they buy the distribution board. It is very common to see a distribution board in Ghana that is completely overloaded. 2 or 3 circuits going to one breaker. Not the way to go. Distribution boards are not a decoration. They are proper electrical centers. Okay, common problems will occur when you have too many circuits on one bus bar. Heat is trapped in the sealed cabinets. Okay, there's no, when heat is trapped over time, the heat builds up, and then one day, God forbid, the worst happens. Okay, heat buildup inside boards accelerates the insulation breakdown. I'm showing the insulation. The insulation is the material around the cable that, if you like, protects the copper where the electricity is being conducted. Yeah, when the insulation breaks down, then that copper, which is conducting the current, which is overheating, can touch something live and then can ignite. All right. So this is the issue. Defect number 7. No electrical testing before handover. No electrical testing before handover. This is a big, and I'm going to call it a systemic failure. Many homes are handed over without electrical insulation resistance testing, without RCD trip time verification, or even operational tests, without earth resistance tests, earth loop impedance test. Without testing, defects remain unknown until failure. Electrical testing isn't just paperwork, it is fire prevention. The building in Ghana, ensure that you ensure that you push for the Energy Commission to come and do the electrical testing before the building is handed over, to give you that peace of mind. Defect number 8. Sometimes you have cheap accessories, and unfortunately, I'll probably do a separate video on this. Unfortunately, in the Ghana market, if you don't buy your equipment or accessories from the right place, you could be exposed to fake and counterfeit items. You could be. Okay, there's a way to spot them, and I'll cover that in a separate video. Okay, counterfeit breakers, fake RCDs, low-grade sockets can be, are prevalent in some parts of Ghana. Let's be honest. Okay, there's ways to avoid it, and there's many genuine places to avoid. So don't let that frighten you. Just have some awareness. That's all. Obviously, if the device is cheap or fake, then it's not going to trip when it's supposed to trip. It may melt internally. It may fail under fault conditions. A breaker that doesn't trip is worse than no breaker at all. And finally, guys, most electrical fires are completely preventable. Okay, they happen because defects are hidden, they are ignored, or they are misunderstood. A new house is not automatically a safe house unless the electrical systems have been tested, verified, and you have a commissioning certificate, let's say. Okay, if you don't inspect, test, and design properly, in fact, I'm going to do this the other way around. If you don't design properly to start with, you have to design properly to start with, then inspect and test. If you don't do all those things properly, then you're relying on and luck can run out. Okay, so this is important. Hidden electrical defects. Hope everything made sense. Okay, I hope you liked the video. As usual, like, share, subscribe, hype the video. From God, it's Kemesia, and from me, guys, Yebeshia. See you next time.